Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and by the time you're watching this, I am probably on my flight headed to Las Vegas to compete in the World Championships for Wonders of the First. That being said, there was a really cool live stream I was part of about a week ago that I've been meaning to get out to you guys. We did a Creators of the First live stream. We do this usually every other Tuesday over at Radish Digital. Make sure to check out that channel if you haven't already. And what we do is we gather all of the top content creators for Wonders of the First, and we pick each other's brains about what's happening within the game, within the world of the game, and what the, hot topics of the day happen to be. And in this one in particular, we did a 4-part series where we got to interview Brian Tinsman, the lead designer of the game, who's a former Magic the Gathering design lead, and we got to ask him a whole bunch of questions, mostly about Call of the Stones, the second set, which is coming in February, but a few surprise questions sneak their way into this as well. So I'm really excited to share my part in this. This is a 4-part series, and the rest of it is available to watch over on those other content creators' channels. My good friend American Texan, of course, Be a Hero Gaming, Ben is the man, and Grace over at Wonders Workshop. So I'm gonna make sure and link those channels so you guys can check out the rest of this conversation. Definitely check out those channels because those channels are amazing. They all work really, really hard, and they're all good friends of mine at this point. So check them out, and without further ado, this is our interview with Brian Tinsman. So Brian, I have an important question for you. Draft. We haven't discussed draft at all, and now the second set is coming. We're doing sealed. Sealed has been wonderful. When can we expect to try our first draft? And please, can it just be in Vegas?
I'm always interested in having play groups try all the different formats, and we don't have an official draft format where we're locked in and like, yes, this is the right way to do it. We've been focused on constructed and sealed, and frankly, I think we got a bit lucky that sealed worked as well as it did without a whole lot of development effort. Like we just we kind of nailed it on having the right amount of power and ease of building sealed decks out of just 6 packs. So essentially we got to have more playtesting energy around draft, and also like for sure the potential is there, but we don't want to split the player base too much.
On my end, a lot of players that I end up playing sealed with get excited and they want to take that next step with draft. They feel like it's a natural next step. And I'm kind of curious if there's anything in particular you think stands out about Wonders that makes it a little trickier to implement draft, more so than sealed, that maybe is giving you more caution when approaching it?
There's always the issue of having the right amount of lands, and whether you make people try to draft lands or whether you give them like a token land pool to draw from. And I think the right answer is that they need to have a token land pool to draw from, but like how to implement that is still an outstanding question. The card set is it's not a slam dunk. I mean, the existence set is not a slam dunk for draft, which is something that we're planning to try to fix in future sets.
So maybe, just maybe, we can get a little taste of draft when Call of the Stones comes calling?
Yeah, I mean, definitely we will be able to have casual draft games, but I don't think we're going to support it in tournaments.
Well, I'm excited to see the other side of that coin when it's finally time.
I mean, the other thing that we're gonna get to start to do more easily when Call of the Stones comes out is something akin to like cube draft, right? Because there will be 800 plus cards in the environment at that point, and you could build a reasonable cube too. So that'll kind of give us a lot more playtest and development on the draft formats.
That actually kind of brings me to my next question, and this will be the actual last question from me today. Moving into Call of the Stones, do you see there being strictly Call of the Stones events, like sealed only using Call of the Stones, or maybe even constructed using only Call of the Stones? And as an extension of that, do you think each set will get its own world championship, or is that more an annual thing?
We will have Call of the Stones sealed only, so 6 packs of Call of the Stones, and that's awesome. It's a lot of fun. I don't think we will have constructed Call of the Stones only. We're going to keep it at the mixed environment with DBS settings on decks, and the World Championship will be once per year, so it won't be like a Call of the Stones only championship.
Interesting. Do you think there will be like a bigger tournament specifically aimed at Call of the Stones? Is that maybe what the Shattering will end up being? Yeah,
the Shattering for sure will have all kinds of Call of the Stones focused tournament formats. Players at the Shattering, players won't have a lot of time to put together like constructed only Call of the Stones sets, but it's something that we can do casually. Even if it's not like formally supported.
High stakes limited play at the launch event is where I want to see things move. But thank you for your time, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and hey, congrats on your many impressive wins at Star City Games Cons. You're proving that all your knowledge and experience is worth a lot.
I'm certainly trying. Baltimore was a bit of an obstacle, trying to get over some of the rules dealing with drawing and how draws are determined, some of that stuff, growing pains. But I think we got a lot of it worked out for Vegas. I'm excited to try and take the crown. So
yeah, you did amazing. And
hey everybody, this is Slappy White with Creators of the First. We're back with part 2 of our sit down with Brian Tinsman, lead game designer of Wonders of the First, former lead game designer at Magic the Gathering. Appreciate his time, and we're going to go back to the panel. But first, before we get to the panel, there were a couple of questions from the audience, and so we definitely wanted to go there. Brian, I'm going to put a few questions on there. So we had, let's see, from Jay. He had the question, will Emma synergize with any cards in the new set? Definitely trying to get information out of you. You probably shouldn't, but let's throw it out there because the community asked and they want an answer.
Well, my answer is exciting, but not satisfying because yes, there definitely are new cards that synergize with Emma powerfully, and I'm saving the reveal for what they are for a later date.
We know it's Kaya.
What about Kaya?
We know it's Kaya.
Yeah.
Okay. And
there's a lot more than that.
See your tease. You never know. The breadcrumb might be going in the wrong direction, right, Grace? All right. And then when we were talking about combinations to American Texans question, I think Rabanero Peppers had put this in. How about the infinite attack and infinite energy my team found? The infinity. Sorry, I'm thinking about. Hold on, let me do. How about the infinity attack, infinity energy my team found? Sorry, thinking about Michael on the team.
Yeah. So, the game rules are able to support infinite attacks and infinite energy and not stall out and not crash the rules. And so this is something that we kind of had to work through when we were first doing this system design. Is do we want to make cards that are super safe and we know exactly what they're going to do, or do we want to make some cards that are exciting and can potentially be abused? And we went for the exciting cards and made a game system that can handle it. So I don't know which specific combo is being referenced though.
I know that's what's hard. We have a little bit of a gap, and so those comments came through after we had talked about it. But Brian, I appreciate your response, talking about the risk that you take, where you want the excitement. So you want to. I think you've shared that before. When you're designing the game, is that you willingly admit you create some potential where you don't know how it's going to. It's like the opposite of, they say like a lawyer never asks a question that they don't know an answer to, right? Mm-hmm. They don't want to be embarrassed on the stand. You're that lawyer asking questions you don't know the answer to. It's like you're creating gameplay that you're not sure where it's going to end up. But you see the exciting possibilities, right? And you're not playing it safe with Wonders of the First, with Call of the Stones at all.
Yeah, I'm the type of designer who doesn't feel too bad when a card gets out of control, and in another game it would have to be banned. In our game we have DBS, which means we never ban cards, but we may have to adjust them so they're no longer so strong in the meta. But if you're banning cards or pulling cards out of the meta with DBS, it means that you are trying to find the line of what's too good, and you're taking risks. And if that never happens, then that means you don't know where that line is. And like you can imagine, theoretically, a super safe set would be one that just like all it does is give bonuses and lets you draw some cards and put some counters on things, and that's it. And you'd actually have some legitimate fun gameplay just based on that. But those people who really get into deck building and trying out crazy new stuff, we wanted to give them some meat for their plates, for their cooking pots.
Yeah, we're all grateful for it. Ben,
was that a hint? Meat for because my son and I just the other day were looking at the cooking pot, and we thought, man, is there a way to get 20 counters in this thing? How could you get enough actions? We're sitting here brainstorming. It can't be done. Put that one aside. We're not using that. It sounds like maybe that could all be changing.
Someday.
All right. Well, Ben, what else you got for Brian?
I was going to ask this, but maybe you already answered it. As far as the idea for the Stoneseeker and the tokens. It sounds like that was kind of something you already had in the works that you already thought of, or did that kind of idea come to fruition with Call of the Stones, or is this something you wanted to do since existence that you wanted to do for the next set, or kind of when did this come to fruition?
So we knew that we wanted to have characters that were kind of like the stars of the set, the main heroes of the set, and
like a planeswalker sort of.
Yeah, sure. We knew we had the possibility too of bringing in some celebrities to play the roles of characters in our games. And so with that opportunity, we're going to have some real stars. How can we make them a star? And the idea for Stoneseekers and using story tokens came from Ramel, and he proposed it, and we kind of had to try it out and prove that it plays well and see what the design space was. And we had been like slowly coming to the understanding of that there's a lot you could do with the design space of pulling things from the token deck and how tokens work in our game differently than in typical games. And it was a solid home run. So Ramel gets to have all the credit for that idea and pitching it, and it worked great.
Cool. And he was reassuring me too in Baltimore, because initially I wasn't really on board with the whole celebrity thing. I thought, I don't know, and Ramel caught me in Baltimore and said, hey, Eric came to me and said, Ben doesn't like the celebrities. And Ramel said, just wait, Ben. Just wait. You're going to love it. So I'm trusting the team.
I mean, as far as I can tell, I don't think that this has been done in other games before either. And it's a way to make some cards special and different without breaking the lore and the setting. So
right.
Yeah, actually, Brian, a follow-up question to that is, what was your general feeling about that? Now, I assume that came from, we all know that Jeff French, your partner there over at Wonders of the First, he's the collector. He's not more. He's the collector. You're the player. And I'm assuming this was all Jeff, on-card autos with celebrity. That's right up his wheelhouse. So when he brought that, was your first reaction to throw a notebook at him? If you were happen to be in the same office, or was your first thought that's crazy? Let me think about how I can incorporate this into the game. What was the creative?
So it was a mixture, because I knew it was super popular and exciting with games like Bojax and Battle Arena, and if it could work there, it could work here. But also, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and if we don't carefully manage it, it could turn out to be lore breaking, or it could turn out to be disliked by fans. So we had to make sure that you don't have Ben Affleck as Ben Affleck with a card named Ben Affleck in the world of Wonders, right? That's not what we want. So once I was thinking in terms of an actor plays a role in a movie, an actor could play a role in our game world, and Ben Affleck is not playing himself in the movie. He's playing Batman, right? He's playing his character. Then I was like, oh yeah, this is great.
Wow. And do you think, because of, obviously you've talked about how you kind of had to incorporate Stoneseekers to make the celebrities work. Would you say that the set was it harder, or was it easier to do the second set based on incorporating the Stoneseekers? Obviously, you needed to have an idea, an outline on what you were going to do. In some ways you could say, hey, I have to incorporate them, so it made it easier because I have a purpose kind of to gel around, and we don't know the rest of the set. Of course, this is just one component of it. But did it make it easier, or did it make it harder, because you had everything carved out for Call of the Stones, and then oh, now I got to kind of fit this in with everything else I'm doing, plus mesh with existence. So was it harder, or was it easier?
It was harder for sure, because it adds a layer of business development that we've got 3 people that have agreed to be partners in this game and play the roles. Oh wait, we got another one. We got 4. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's take another card that might not work with the new Stoneseeker that we want to introduce into the game. We got to get rid of that one, and we got to put the new abilities on this one. So there's some development in the late stage that didn't happen with Existence.
Capricorn, I know you have 1 million questions, so Maybe we should just go to somebody on the panel, then Capricorn, then somebody, then Capricorn, then somebody, then Capricorn. Capricorn, what's your next question?
I actually have one that kind of directly relates to what Brian was just talking about, if you don't mind, Cap.
Yeah, sure.
So and it's okay if you can't answer this, Brian. I have this theory. In BoJack's Battle Arena, the heroes are masked until they're revealed and there's an IP contract and stuff. I don't know enough to really understand it, but I noticed in the most recent video and trailer, the two Stoneseekers who do not seem to have celebrities are wearing goggles, and they seem to have masks. Is that a pattern that we may see consistently throughout the set, or is that just something that happened to happen with the way what was chosen to release?
Yeah, I think we just thought they looked cool. It's a hidden trick. But look, if you're a Stoneseeker and you're out there with your vehicles and you're racing around and stuff, you gotta have some goggles.
So true.
Valid. I had to ask to see if my theory was right or wrong.
No. I mean, you're right to poke around for Easter eggs, because there certainly are Easter eggs and hidden treats in there.
Cool.
All right, Capricorn.
So you have a new movement mechanic in Call of the Stones, which is called Call, which can pull a wonder towards a stone, which is really cool. I'm curious if you think there are more cards in Call of the Stones that have the ability to move cards in play than in Existence, because in Existence we pretty much had flying and we had a little bit of portaling, and then we had a couple cards that were one-offs like V8 Wanderer and Cloudweaver Construct. But now we've got, I assume, flying coming back like normal, and this new call mechanic that's probably going to be pushed pretty hard. Do you think there's more movement overall in Call of the Stones than in Existence, or around the same, or how does that look to you?
Good observation. Yeah, I think there is more, not overwhelmingly more, but yeah, call is an important keyword. And, the best sets are the ones where the mechanics and the names and the theme of the set are all reinforcing each other. And call, the story of the set is that the wonders are getting powered up, and the closer they get to the shards of the formless stones, the more powerful they get. So that's reinforcing the mechanic, and being able to move stuff towards the stones is reinforcing the theme. So there certainly is a limit at which it becomes too difficult to track the board state if there's too much potential movement happening on the board. Especially some of the high level tournament decks, you get very complex board states, and so is that a worry? Is that a problem? I don't think we crossed that line, but we're aware that there's a line there.
Awesome.
Texan, you got a question for Brian?
Yeah, I'm more interested a little bit more of the behind the scenes stuff, but you as a designer, what are some of the things that you found helps yourself get in the right headspace? Obviously things like a nice diet, getting enough sleep, those things, help everyone with everything. But is there anything for you that specifically helps you get into the zone or get into flow state?
Yeah, walking while thinking is a really important one for me. Like just getting, because it kind of forces you to have good breathing, oxygenation, and gets your heart rate going. And at almost all of the game companies that I've worked at before, we've had a thing called walking meetings, where we'll get the design team together and go on a walk around the block while we talk and discuss stuff. So I mean that's one of my tricks. The other thing that I generally do just for personal enjoyment is like techno music. Listening to kind of early 2000s trance music, and that's the kind of thing that's like it's sort of like dancing in your head, but no words to distract you.
Obviously, whoever is going to be putting this in their content, you better have some techno blasting after Ryan says that.
Matrix soundtrack. Just make it easy. Just go grab some Matrix soundtrack. There you go.
It's amazing what music can do for creativity. When I was writing, I had a list of movie soundtracks that I would listen to, on like 12-hour long playlist of movie soundtracks.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, there's a great platform called Brain.fm, and it's literally made for background like thinking music. They got focus mode, sleep mode, reading mode, and you can choose your own genre. So like they'll actually do like you said, like 12-hour playlists. Lo-fi tracks on YouTube are also great. I love Hans Zimmer for when I have to do like super deep, intensive work. That's like music soundtrack. He did a lot of stuff. He's like the next generation of John Williams. But that's super cool to hear. And I like the walking thing because I do that too. I'll have to get up and walk to try to think. And sometimes I'll call my team and have a walking talk with them. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah. Yeah, all my stuff just happens to fall between 120 BPM and 130 BPM.
Cool.
Yeah, beats per minute. So that's like it's pretty fast pounding like trance music.
That's by the way, next generation of John Williams. John Williams is still alive and he's still creating. So
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. He's the protege. You don't have to pass on to be the next guy.
So I have a million questions for Brian, but one I want to get right away is that I believe I took this from Discord, and I want to show this right now. What if I said these things about Call of the Stones? The strongest orbital from existence is still the strongest orbital. The most popular orbital from existence will have some of the most unique cards. The least popular orbital from existence will have some of the most game-altering effects. There is at least one card that breaks into the top 12 for me, and it's not from Boundless. Let's see, catch up with there is like I've got it hiding. All right, that's not from Boundless, and of course this is from Mel, and I believe he posted this in a community chat, is where we found it. My favorite piece of art in the set was not created by me. My favorite card was not designed by me. There are three existence, let's see, I can go back. There are three existence cards that are not currently staples that will become staples. There's a card that my daughter helped me design the art for. Her position left dangling, we won't give him a hard time for that. One staple may see a rise to sit solidly in the top 5. Call of the Stones' best strategies are gonna make you reconsider your favorite orbitals. Rommel. So a lot there to unpack. Obviously, we want to start with the art that his daughter helped with. Do you think it's worthy of being in the set? No, I'm kidding. It's like, hey, there's so many things there, Brian. It's like, comment on one, decipher it for us.
All right, the strongest orbital from existence is still the strongest orbital. Do I agree with that? I'm not sure that I do agree with that.
Ooh.
I think he's just playing with us. All this stuff. All this stuff.
Well, I mean, I can't say all that much about it, but.
Okay. All right, well, let's move on to another one then. That's fine.
I mean, for all we know, it's Rommel that's pulling strings.
Totally. He's totally messing with us.
The mind games.
Okay. All right, well, let's do this is that, all right, we'll go with each one, and I can see it back here. Let's see. What if I said these things about Call of the Stones? And here, let me go ahead and hide it for you. Is that strongest orbital? We'll say, all right, the most popular orbital from existence will have some of the most unique cards. So is that a fair take? This is obviously subjective, but would you agree with that, Brian?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, my interpretation of this is that the most popular Orbital is boundless. It had the most player excitement and interest, and the most decks built around it. Plus, shows up in tons and tons of constructed decks, and it's the Orbital that gets to do weird stuff that plays with the rules more than other cards do. Setting up ongoing effects that last for the entire rest of the game, or that are supposed to only happen in one round, but you can reuse and use them on different rounds. So
This collaborative interview was a ton of fun, but don't forget there's 3 more parts happening on my good friends' channels, American Texan, Wonders Workshop, and Be a Hero Gaming, so make sure to check those out for the rest of the conversation. The links are in the description and in the comments. Do it now. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.